Ben Olsen here. Ben, finally hitting the road for the first time. A big one against Dallas. Is your thoughts on the preparation this week and the match ahead?
Yeah, we're excited to go on the road. I know most teams wouldn't be excited to go on the road, but we haven't traveled yet this year, and we don't do a lot of traveling in the preseason. So it'll be nice to get the team away from here, and Dallas. This is the derby, one we look forward to, one they look forward to. So hopefully it's an exciting game. I think we've got some ideas. I'm sure they have some ideas. We're looking forward to getting back on the field.
Thank you for that. We'll start with Joey.
Hey, Ben. Last week against Portland, Nick Maranick came in, involved in a pretty scary play, got the red card. Now it's been escalated to a further suspension and a fine. How do you guide a new player like this in a club going through such a rough start?
We're going through a rough start?
No, Nick Maranick.
Oh, him?
Yeah.
I don't say much. Just like what I say is, you got an extra game. And he's like, yeah, no. So that's about it. They know the league is very clear about that circumstance. And, I don't have any problem with the extra game. I don't have any problem with the red card. I think it's the right one. If anytime you cut open a goalkeeper and it's a 50-50, you're going to get the book handed to you. So, as far as a young kid, I don't think he'll do it again. And I don't think I need to say much more than that. But, I don't think he was malicious. I think he was an ambitious kid who wants to score a goal and thought he had an opportunity and misjudged it.
Now, Sam Bynes got brought into the club today. We've seen him play at the left center back in one of Colorado's best seasons. We've seen him play the wing back, as the left back, and a 4. How do you see him fitting in?
All of those. Potentially all of those. Depth piece right now that has MLS experience, an American player, and who's got experience in Europe and as I said, in this league. So a nice piece for us to pick up, and in particular as we're playing more with wing backs than with wide backs. I think he's a good fit for us in this moment in time.
And I've seen Rashal surrender that first-team contract today. What have you seen from him so far in his early career? What have you been impressed by?
Well, enough to sign him, and we've seen enough to make the move to put him, on the roster. Would he be on the roster if Lucas wasn't out for a little bit? That's certainly maybe sped that up or forced our hand maybe a hair on that. However, the kid's done great. He's done really well in preseason, and we've thrown him in the games a few times already, and he's hung in there, which is saying something. As a kid that we didn't have any real expectations on, other than he was going to play with the second team and we were going to evaluate him. But it's just another example of some good scouting that our second team does, our relationship with the second team, and how that continues to be a nice little place for us to evaluate and pick up players.
Thank you so much, Ben.
Jesus, go ahead.
Hi, Ben. With this being your first road trip, aside from playing a good game, which I'm sure you want, what can this road trip do for the team building, since there's so many new players on this squad?
I just get a different venue right now is, I think, good for this team. We've been in Houston quite a while. The New England game got canceled, and our preseason we spent a lot of time here. I think we went away for about a week total. So this is good. This is good for us to get on the road, and for the new guys to see what the road looks like in the MLS, and experience a little bit of time, away from our families for a few days. It's not the end of the world.
Turning to Nelson Kenyons, you guys made the decision to let him go. How difficult was that decision, considering that, when you guys first signed him, showed a lot of promise, possibly could be one of the, what ifs of this club?
It's gutting. it's gutting for all of us. We put a lot into Nelson. He put a lot into this club. The injury was a very, very significant one, and the poor kid, he almost came back, I don't know, 10 times, 11 times. He just kept, continued to get soft tissue injuries. So he needs to just, again, keep plugging at it. I don't know. We're here for him in the future to help him, hopefully have opportunities, going forward. Again, I just feel for him as a guy that's been injured quite a bit. It is just it's been a real grind the last 2.5 years for him, and it's at some point, you have to make decisions on whether or not he's going to be a good fit for the club, and that wasn't just an automatic, right? This has been. I think we've had a very, very long leash, or Pat and management have a long leash with Nelson, because we got a lot of love for him, and we not only think he's a talented kid, and we're hoping he could get back to help us. He's also a great kid that we feel like he's part of the family here, and it was a very difficult decision in many ways.
What kind of words of encouragement did you guys give him, knowing that he's still such a young player, and who knows, 5-10 years on the road, right? Maybe he comes back, or he's still playing. Oh well,
he's still training, and he's up and running. It's just been like this all the time, and maybe sometimes a fresh environment. I've seen this before, helps a player too. Just to. I believe that the mind can heal the body sometimes too, and I think sometimes getting away from where you continually get injured may help him, and we'll help him out. He left in good spirits, and thankful, and we've had some chats, and he's got a lot of people here, hopefully looking after him, and we'll help guide him as his next steps.
Thanks, man.
Jorge, go ahead.
Good morning, Coach. Coach,
Hi, Jorge.
With Kenyons being released, that opens up an international spot. Not too sure if he took up a U22 roster spot, but how do you guys plan to use that in the future?
Well, we're looking, to fill that foreign spot. In the short term, we only have 5 to 10 days or whatever this is looming before the window closes, and then it opens in the summer. So we'll use it for sure. We need these two signings. One's a little bit of depth issue, and one, Sam Vines, I think is more of a good opportunity for us, and I think he's been a good fit so far. So but we'll be adding something at some point to help us in an area or two, and I think there's an under 22 spot as well. So we still have some moves. This team still has to get better. We have to get better just by playing and games and training, because it's still a new group. And but we also have to get better and more competitive from a talent standpoint, and keep bringing guys in.
And I wanted to ask about Ezekiel Pon. No goals yet, but just your other two DPs have contributed. Just how do you continue to work with Ponce, and then leading up to this Dallas matchup?
He'll be fine. He's doing, he's still doing all the other great things that he does, and the way he shapes our pressure. His hold-up play has been good. His connections. He's actually been a part of a few goals, which, whether the Garamay goal. That he takes a good shot, and he's close. He's close. He's been knocking on the door, and it'll come. He's thrilled, though. He's thrilled at the group, and that he's got some guys around him that can make some plays, and that we've been able to win some games. So nobody's going to have whether he scores or not, he's going to have a smile on his face. He's a team guy, and he's excited to be here, and he's excited about the potential of this team.
Last one for me. This might be a Pat or Asher question, but with Guillermo, I believe, being a minimum DP, is there any plans of buying him down and then maybe adding some more firepower?
Buying who down?
Guillermo.
Oh, that's Asher, Pat. You can ask him that question. I don't know the answer for that. But if you got any spare change around, we could maybe pull that off.
All right. Thanks, Jorge.
Thanks, Jorge.
Andres?
Hey, Ben. Just wanted to ask if you had any player updates for Lucas Halter and Ezekiel Pon for after training this week.
Ezekiel played last weekend and did not, that wasn't necessarily an injury. And Lucas Halter is out. So we're still looking at him and what the doctors are saying there, and we'll kind of probably have an announcement on that probably in the next week. We're still evaluating, how severe that injury is.
What you think about?
All right.